Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live. I hope you guys are starting your day off well. If you happen to just be in here, you might be interested in government contracting, how to get into government contracting, and what you need to do to win in government contracting. But before we get started, let's get some things out the way. Drop in a comment where you're watching from, what your business interest is, even the ones that you haven't started yet. That's right. And if you've ever thought about government contracting and thought that it sounded confusing, drop a swirly eye in the comment. Welcome, Tracy. Hello, Mr. Hazel. Please drop in the comment where you're coming from. So like today, I'm talking about government contracting. I have been in the government contracting space for over 10 years. So what I'm bringing to you are hands-on experience, insider experience that I've learned over the years of how small businesses like yourself are winning contracts. And there are multiple ways that people are winning contracts. And government contracting is basically the process that the government uses to buy goods and services for the missions that they're looking to accomplish for the year. Welcome for taking this Saturday afternoon to join me, to be part of this community, to talk about government contracting, and let's figure out how we can use the information that we have at our disposal to make a change in our lives, especially with the way that this landscape is going, where people are losing their jobs for whatever reason. And this is the time for you to mobilize and set a business up for yourself to survive in the space. And as I've said before, many of you who probably have attended some of my previous lives, I say this all the time. Regardless of who's in office, regardless of the political landscape, government contracting is not going away. So yes, in this landscape that we're in, I think it's important for us to have all the information at our disposal to figure out how we're going to use the information, how we're going to use the knowledge that we know that we have to move in this landscape. We don't know what the future holds. What we have control over is what's in front of us right now. And right now is one of the best times that you can use to set up your business. It is going to cost some of you some money because you have to register at your state level before you can even consider registering in sam.gov to do business with the government. Anything worth having, worth the work and worth the wait. So yes, government contracting is not a new construct. It's a way for you to leverage your business, what you currently have, how you're currently doing business. If you're offering something, service or product to the general public, most likely there's a space, there's a buyer for it in the government space because the government buys everything. They buy anything from IT, from consulting, from supplies, logistics, you name it, office supplies, they buy it. You have to identify that buyer to go after what is available, the contract opportunities that are available. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk to you about the opportunities at the federal level, even the state level, state and local levels, so you can start thinking about how you're going to position yourself to move differently going forward. So my goal is to help you to create those options through government contracting. We're going to talk about what government contracting is, what it's not. Government contracting obviously is not a get-rich-quick scheme. In a nutshell, government contracting is nothing more than you going to the store and buying something that you need. And the general public, the small business space, is that store for the government, sort of the Amazon type of platform where they can go to buy the products and services that they need. Thank you for joining. Do we have to register our business first before we get a loan? This conversation is not about government loan, it's about government contracts, which are two separate things. On the federal level, anytime you're looking to do government contracting, you're going to have to be registered in their system, in the database, which is the sam.gov database, in order for you to participate in that opportunity. Again, keep in mind, anything that is based on federal level, you're going to have to register for that. Ask your question about government contracting. Today, our topic is about what is government contracting. As I've said, government contracting is just a process, it's just a way the government buys goods and services to meet their missions and their goals to serve the general public. In a nutshell, that's what it is. Now, it's going to require some paperwork. It's going to require that you do certain things to get into the space. And those certain things are for you to register, to have a viable business, which starts at the state level because you have to register in your state. It requires that you get an EIN number, which is free at irs.gov. It requires that you have a bank account because you're not recognized as a viable business. Even if you have an EIN number, if you don't have a bank account that is linked to that EIN number, you're not really considered a business until you have a bank account for that business. Then you will need to find out what your industry NAICS code is. The industry NAICS code is the government's way of categorizing your business to know what type of service that you offer. So you're going to need to have the NAICS code to be categorized in the database so the government knows what type of product or service that you offer. After you do that, then you go into the sam.gov website to register your business. But for the purpose of this live, we're talking about federal contracts, how to identify those opportunities, where they are, where you can find them, how to register, how to get started. If you haven't already started, if you're already an established business and not registered your business in SAM, it's time for you to think about if that is something that you want to do. It doesn't cost you anything extra. We saw a lot of small businesses back during the COVID time who were not able to take advantage of some of the federal opportunities because they weren't registered. By the time that some of them were able to register, some of the programs were phasing out. So right now is a great time for you to think about how you're going to move forward. Do you want to establish a government contracting business model? Now we are in a landscape again that things are changing, policies are changing. We shouldn't wait till things get dire to take advantage of an opportunity that doesn't cost us anything to start. If you're already in business, you're already paying your registration fees to the state, you already have your EIN number, you already have your NAICS code. The next step is to go in sam.gov to register your business so that you can raise your hand to the government to let them know that you are a business that is interested in doing government contracting. I want to use my 10 years of experience from being inside the government, awarding contracts, awarding grants, knowing the process, understanding the procedures, seeing what a winning contract looks like or winning proposal looks like, seeing what a bad proposal look like, even seeing proposals where you scratch your head and wonder, why did this person even take the time to submit it? So my goal is to provide you with the knowledge that you need, with the information that you need, starting with the basics. The basic is to register in sam.gov to get your business started. You're in tech. Tech is going to be a really big industry in 2025. There's going to be a lot of money pushed towards technology. But what I know for sure, services like janitorial, logistics, supplies, those things are not going away. It's important, if you are in technology, to figure out how to get in the government. One thing I do know, just based on my experience, the IT companies, those businesses that offered IT services, they saw a lot of growth in the government space. Those IT companies maintain a strong business. Thank you for joining my community. This is a two-way conversation. I can be here talking to myself. I'm talking to you guys. So ask your question about government contracting. For those of you who are just coming in, the conversation is about what is government contracting. Hi, Chris. Government contracting is the process that the government uses to buy goods and services. It's no different than you going to Amazon, where there's all of these different vendors, all of these different suppliers buying different things from these vendors. Government contracting is the same. One of the ways they let you know what they're looking for is by listing those solicitations, those requirements, those needs on sam.gov. Let me go through some of the questions and see what questions you guys have. Hello, how are you? Thanks again, guys. But yes, so when I talk about government contracting, I talk about government contracting on a general level, although my focus is federal. State and local all do government contracting very similar. Each state have their own databases where they publish their opportunities. For instance, if you're in New York and you want to know what's going on in the state of New York, you can find opportunities on the state level, the local level, just by doing a simple search and then go into the tab where it says how to do business with that state. Very simple. When I'm speaking about federal, I am strictly talking about opportunities that are listed on sam.gov. You can look for opportunities that are strictly state-based, or you can look for opportunities everywhere. And that's the beauty about federal contracts. Whereas when you're dealing with state contracting opportunities, you're restricted to your state. Thank you, Sandy, for joining. Rancher, Momoka, Kenneth. Thank you, guys. Just to get back on track, there's opportunities in multiple different countries, like in Europe and Africa, different parts of the world. Whereas when you're dealing with state contracts, you're only dealing with opportunities that are in your backyard. That's a great advantage as well if you just want to focus in your backyard. State opportunities is a great way to leverage what's available to grow your business with government contracting. Thank you for joining the live. Ask your question. This is a two-way conversation. You can even search for opportunities in your backyard through federal as well. It doesn't cost you anything to register, and you have to be ready to take on these opportunities. I know some people might be concerned with the rollback of DEI and other programs. You might be concerned with that. Right now, that is not your concern. Right now, the goal is to keep your mind focused on your business. Keep your mind focused on how you're going to generate. Hello, Mimi. Thank you for joining. Peyton. Yeah, right now, your focus is your business, how you're going to generate multiple streams of income, however that looks for you. But government contracting should definitely be one of those business models where you create a business to sell goods or services to the government. When you're selling services, I love services because services for the most part, does not require that you put out additional funds. When you're selling goods to the government, sometimes depending on the manufacturer, you may have to put some money up to get those products, to have them delivered to the government, and then wait to get paid by the government. So if you can build a relationship with your supplier, the difference is when you're selling government products, it's a one-time type of thing, unless it's office supply where they're continually buying office supply, pens, laptops, paper, whatever they need for the office. But most products are just one term. So which means that you sold this product and now you're having to find other products to sell to the government. So that is why service is very interesting, because with a service contract, you can qualify for a base and 4 options, which means that the government will give you a contract for the base year. So this is the test year. They're testing you out. They're filling you out. You're dating. They want to see how you handle their requirements, if you can deliver on what you say that you can. So they're testing you. So that's the base year. The base year is a make or break you, period. If you don't perform, then with these 4 option years, they may or may not renew the option years. So that is why it's so important. The government will never lock itself into a 5-year term contract unless it's for, let's say, construction or some major development where it's a multi-year contract. And I know I'm probably speaking up here for some of you guys, but the government is never going to lock itself into a multi-year contract unless it's some major development. Most of their contracts are awarded on a basis of a base, which is the first year, and 4 option, which then makes it a 5-year contract. Thank you for joining, you guys. Maria, Pont Period, Sky Pillow. There's so many names, and my vision is blurred with these computer glasses that is a little hard for me to see all the names because everything is so light. So as I was saying, because they want to give themselves room if you don't perform to cancel that contract. I have awarded many of those contracts, and I have seen where it has worked out for many small businesses, for many businesses, where their options are continually renewed up into the 5 years. Once the 5-year hit, then the government has to republish that opportunity. And this is an area where a lot of people don't consider, is if to find out those current contracts and to find out where they're coming up for renewal, to be able to reach out to those agencies. Hi, Nina Scott. Hi, Divine Melanin B. Veronica, thank you guys for joining. For those of you who are just joining, I am Emaniece, your GovCon Insider. I am here to provide information to small businesses who are interested in doing government contracting, but think that government contracting is confusing. For those of you who don't know, I am talking about what is government contracting, what you need to do to get into government contracting, to prepare your business for growth in this 2025. To get into government contracting, you need to have a business established. If you don't already have one, set one up. Acquire your EIN number through irs.gov, which is free of charge to you. Once you have the documents in place, now you can go and you can establish a business account, because even if you have an EIN number, unless you have a bank account attached to it, you're not considered a business. Okay. And once you do that, you get your NAICS code. Your NAICS code is the industry code that categorizes your business as, and let the government know what type of service that you offer. Government contracting is not complicated. It just requires you to follow instruction. And if you can follow instruction, you can do government contracting. I'm not going to tell you that as soon as you start, you're going to win a contract, but consistency and practice definitely will increase your chances. But yes, government contracting is the way forward for small businesses looking to grow, looking to make inroads with their business. So this is the time to do it. This is no better time than right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Today is the time right now that you need to figure out how you're going to leverage government contracting with what is going on in the current landscape where people are losing their jobs and whatever else. You have to create your own economy, your own resource, a business that you can rely on to provide the necessities that you need for your family. And the good thing with government contracting, they don't haggle you. They have deep pocket, and it's a $700 billion industry, and it's not getting smaller. Government contracting is always going to be in the forefront because they are always going to need those services, with employees having to return back to the offices. Leasing office supplies is also going to be ramped up. There's a lot of opportunities for everyone. Think about it, $700 billion. In the small business industry makes a very small part of that. Of the $700 billion, 23% of it has to be spent with small businesses. Right now, that is law. It's mandated.